But yeah, there was good group. I mean, shit. Lou came with 5 himself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I came with Brayden.
Life in the big city.
Food was cold.
I didn't eat.
I shouldn't have.
I don't. I'm funny about food that sits out like that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm paranoid about that.
It's one of the reasons why I shouldn't have. Plus, I already had plans to eat, and I fucked them all up.
It was lots of food, though.
Yeah, but most of it was like, I mean, it was good.
Finger food.
It was finger food. And I should have just stuck with the vegetables like I was planning on doing. Because that was my original plan, was to eat the vegetables.
Yeah.
And go from there. But I was like, I'll try a little of this and a little of that. And then you get it back and you're like, oh shit, it's cold. Like cold. But, you know.
Our podcast, can anybody hear it anywhere in the United States?
If they listen to YouTube.
If it is a YouTube, right? Well, YouTube's all over, right?
Yes. Okay, that's pretty much where it's at.
I got some friends in California and Arizona I'm going to tell about it so they can listen.
Yeah, I haven't been putting it up on the Anchor. I just forget.
Mm-hmm.
Time goes by because it's just easier to just put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Put some up on the Weed Tube too. There's actually a
what?
thing called the Weed Tube.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. That's a new one on me.
Our shit's set for adult too.
It is?
Yeah, so if you want to watch it, you have to be an adult. Well, I mean, if you're someone who has a kid, like lets their kid, like uses the same one as their kid, you might have your shit set to parental.
Right.
So you won't see it.
Right.
Because it's definitely got to be. Because that's one of the rules they came up with. They kept on fucking with. Like, you'd see it. It's still above every time I go to upload.
Well, I put a picture of myself with some bud, and they took it off.
Who did?
Facebook.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I put buds up on Facebook. Facebook's usually not that big an issue.
They took my shit off. They said your thing has disappeared.
Maybe.
Wow.
I guess that could happen. I might not know enough people.
Actually, to be honest with you, I didn't mean to do that. It was a total. You know, I don't know shit about that shit.
I know.
And I was messing around, and the next thing I know, it popped up on there. I'm like, what? I didn't put it down. I thought, yeah, you probably pressed something you wasn't supposed to press.
Yeah. For sure. I don't know nothing. Stupid phones.
Yeah, buddy.
You just waiting for that neural implant that'll teach you everything you want to know? Matrix style?
Yeah, Matrix style.
I know Kung Fu.
It's coming.
And Matrix 4 is coming too.
Yep. It sure is. They showed some. They showed some clips while they're making it. They showed some clips of it.
Have they?
Keanu Reeves still had his long hair. He looks like he looked in John Wick. He doesn't look like he looked in Matrix.
Well, because in Matrix,
his hair was short.
Yeah, he was also younger, but it also depended on what one you were talking about. Because when he's in the, he's bald in the real world.
Right.
And he has hair in the haircut.
I mean, he has a hair like John Wick in this one, though. He looks just like John Wick.
Yeah, okay.
John Wick. Man, I looked at that. I never look at that shit again.
Did you watch the first one?
Yeah, I will not look at the second or however many
They're all
they
the
make.
same.
Yeah.
If you like that, I mean, that's all right. It's fun.
It was just too much.
It's a lot of killing.
Yeah, it was just too much.
It's a video game.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
That's
like
really
high action.
Yeah, like what is it? What was that video game?
No thought.
What was that video game when you steal cars and shit?
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, Grand Theft.
That's gonna be the one when you get to the virtual world. That's the one that's gonna like playing Grand Theft Auto or fucking any of those things is gonna bring out some fucked up like, because it goes back to Westworld. You've seen Westworld, right?
Oh yeah, the original one. The original Westworld?
Yeah, I never saw the original.
Oh, okay. You talking about the one that's a series?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I haven't
They
seen
made a
that.
movie, yeah, that was Westworld.
But the original one...
It's basically the same shit, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Robots go insane and start fucking up when they shouldn't.
No, that's not the concept. The concept is AI. They develop an AI in order for these these robots, if you want to call them that, but they're basically just built humans. In order for them to give the consumer what they wanted, they literally had to perfect AI. Because going to like a...
Well, that's the new version.
Yes.
Right.
Going to like a...
Because technology had advanced since that movie was made back in the late 70s.
Yeah, it was the basic same book.
Late 70s or something.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You had to make a jump
But I think
technology.
the book was dealing with AI too. Because it's kind
It
of...
might have been.
The whole basis is about what happens when the AI becomes like...
Controls
how long
itself.
does it take? No, not controls itself. Becomes self-aware.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like her journey to becoming self-aware. And it's crazy because the series is great because it jumps in the past and the future, and she can't tell the difference. There's a reason why your memories are fogged. There's a reason why your memories aren't perfect.
Or clear.
Or clear. Because if they were, you would feel them. In that sense. You would live through them again. That's why PTSD is so strong, because it feels like they're living, like it brings out the same exact pain and anxiety that they were feeling at that moment.
Through that traumatic experience.
Without the experience.
Right.
Just all of a sudden you're like, ugh.
You're back there.
Yeah.
In your head.
So the thing about this is it's a fucking video game world. You know what I'm saying? In that sense that you can go and do whatever you want. So you can be the bad guy, you can rape the characters, it doesn't matter. And they just get reset every day. And it's the same basic story. They just keep, and they move them from place to place to place.
Gotcha.
And eventually she comes to just this, you know, self-awareness that she was, she'd come real.
Yeah.
You know, and you find everything out.
Because the original one was with a guy named Yul Brynner. He was like the head robot, or the robot that figured it out.
Oh yeah, they used a girl.
And you know, they had like different worlds. They had Westworld. They had Roman world.
Yeah.
They had, you know, a castle world.
See,
and all the tourists, you know, they'd pick one they wanted to go to, and something happened. It went haywire, and they really started killing them instead of being fake killing.
Yeah.
It was real killing.
Well, that's because, that's the same thing kind of happens. But it's, in the first season, you only know about Westworld.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And then they kind of give you hints at
they
the
build
end.
it up differently.
At the second season, like, well, and then in the second season, you see Samurai World.
Gotcha.
Third season, which is coming out soon, she's in the real world. So she's, because the guy you're talking about, he rebels. It's, in this storyline, he comes to be awake because I guess the guy that created him didn't want them to be tortured because he knew that they, as real as they weren't, they still
had some kind of feeling.
They still felt everything that happened.
They still had feelings.
There was always like a ghost.
Yeah.
Thing, and then you come to find out that the park was actually there set up for taking data from you. It had not once they found like Facebook type shit.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook at first is like. They're like, oh, it's just this thing. It's
Yeah.
And then you find
And
out
then,
that the whole purpose of it is so they can gain data and sell your data. It's the same concept. They were trying to figure out, like, the people who owned it were trying to figure out how to stay alive forever, how to transfer themselves
into the
robot.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it's fucking
it's
crazy.
weird. Man.
It's crazy, fucking great story because it takes you this way and that way.
Wait a minute, who wrote that? Westworld was written by a science fiction writer.
He's famous guy.
Yeah,
but I think the book itself is more about the AI because they were talking about AI back then.
Yeah,
AI's been around for a long time.
Yeah, first time I heard about AI was back in maybe the early '80s. Because it was in a science fiction book that I was reading. Something about Mars, but yeah, they talked about AI.
So there's a comment. Guy goes, laughing my ass off. I said something. He says I said something like, I don't have any reason to go to strip clubs or something like that.
Right.
And you go, yeah, I ain't been in a while. Oh wait, the other day I went and drank some Baileys. And the guy goes, that's some pimp shit. He goes, that's some Snoop Dogg shit. That's like, yeah.
That's beautiful.
That sounds like an old.
Yep, it is.
Pimp thing to do. Just go sit and drink Baileys while the women dance.
And watch the women.
Yeah.
And every now and then one of them would come up to me and sit next to me. How you doing today? How's your day going? What's the one fine? I know what she's leading up to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I nip it in the bud. I look right at her and say, I'm not getting any dances. And when I say that, the whole facial expression changes. They become somebody different.
I believe it, because they don't need you anymore. That's one of the reasons I stopped going, because I don't.
Well, you know,
I didn't have any money.
Well, you know, I used to be a bouncer. I was a bouncer in a titty bar for a couple of years. So, you know, they're there. Other than the little freaks that come in every now and then, they're there just like they would go to Ford Motor Company or they go work for insurance. They're there to make money, to take care of their kid, and to pay their rent and all that shit. They're not there looking for romance.
Oh, I know.
But a lot of guys come in thinking.
Well, it's not even about thinking that everyone knows that a stripper doesn't want romance, but people's ego tell them that they're that dude that can make them want the romance.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And the difference is I never had that kind of over exaggerated ego, self-esteem. So in my mind, I knew you were.
And see,
even if you weren't, you looked at me with true eyes and been like really attracted, and I'd have been like, you just want my money. I know you're not telling me the truth.
See, 90% of the guys that go in those clubs are older guys with a wife,
yeah,
2 kids.
It's not. I don't think it's something that people do.
Now, the young guys come in there, you know, in early 20s and stuff. They don't know nothing. They're just on the wild. They're trying to get some free pussy.
Yeah, same with
you know.
I went because my friends wanted to go.
They'll come in with a big bag of weed, and, you know, roll the girls a joint. They'll go back in the dressing room and smoke it, maybe, or go out to their car and smoke it. And the guy's hoping he'll come back and he get a little pussy for a little weed.
Yeah,
and a 40, you know.
But, well, that's the thing. When you live in Hollow, your choices are Flint.
Yeah. Well, Flint's pretty racy as far as the girls and all that stuff goes.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But, again, it's about having that expendable money to spend on that shit. I barely had enough money to feed my fat ass, let alone fucking to feed some fucking child's kid, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I no disrespect.
No, I know
no
you
judgment to the struggle.
No, I know exactly where you're coming from.
I appreciate people that,
yeah, that
you know what I'm saying?
Do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, no, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Cause
I wish there was a different world where people were dancing because they wanted to, not because they had to.
Well, now sometimes it's a situation like
there
that.
There are people that do.
Sometimes.
I'm not saying there's not. But
it's not a lot, but sometimes it's like that. But the majority of them are just young chicks
but the society
that aren't very well educated.
Exactly.
That got 1 or 2 kids.
Or no kids and just looking to make money.
Yeah, that's rare. No kids are rare. I think 1 out of 100 might have no kids.
1 out of 100, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. That's why back then when I was working in a place like that, and the girl would tell me she didn't have no kids, I'd be like, "Whoa, really?"
What's your?
And I'd tell her, "I'm gonna really have to watch you."
Oh yeah, because they love.
Don't go around telling guys you don't have no kids.
Yeah, definitely don't. Yeah, that'd be something I would warn. But again, because we live in a society that doesn't legitimize workers that want to use their body for cash for some reason. But we
got plenty of places like that for
I know why. It's a Puritan bullshit from the Christians.
I mean, come on.
It still affects us, dude, 100 years later.
Yeah, because we still got those same religions going on.
Right.
As long as there's Catholics and Protestants
And we still
Baptists
have almost
and fundamentalists,
every single person, except for Bernie Sanders, has brought up their fucking faith.
Sometimes when I'm flicking through the channels, I'll stop on a religious program, black or white, don't make no difference. And it's always the same thing. They go along, they start preaching, they start talking about being charitable and all of that. And then within 15 seconds, 20 seconds, they're trying to sell you a book, trying to tell you need to tithe. If you want blessings, you have to tithe.
What the fuck is tithe?
Pay into the church.
Oh,
You give the church 10 or 15% of your income.
I know, because that's
every year.
Remember, I went to church every Sunday when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And when I turned 17, I had a job. And I missed a couple Sundays, and the Sunday I came back, that's the first thing they did.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yep. How much money are you going to give for my... And I was like, thinking to myself, I don't have any fucking money. I was hoping you guys would give me some money. You know what I'm saying? Because you're making fucking $7.50 an hour, $7.15 an hour. Sorry, $7.15 an hour. Not getting paid overtime because the boss somehow fucks you out of hours. But you work a 13-hour shift and I'd say a 30 plus hour, almost 40-hour weekend, and that's 1 week. So that would have made close to like 30 hours overtime. He put me on for 10 hours. Actually 15 hours. So I got 5 hours overtime. Because they just combined them.
Right.
It was like, I don't understand how people think companies are fucking, like, it never makes sense to me how you think a company is going to vein in your interest. They don't give a fuck about you. There's too big of a market. Why do they care?
Right.
What am I going to do? Complain? He fired me and hired someone else. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. You're expendable.
Yeah. Same with like McDonald's. What are you going to do?
There's 1,000 motherfuckers just like you that want a job.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with the market. They have so much control of the market that it doesn't matter. What are you going to do? Talk with your pocket? No. They do a little false bullshit where they pretend like they're going to do what you want them to do, and then they go on to back to what they were doing to make the profits for the people that invest. There's some companies supposedly that are going to change that.
They're shaking in their boots right now. They are shaking in their boots.
I don't know what Bernie can do without a fucking Congress, because he doesn't have a Congress. And even if he does...
What do you mean he doesn't have a Congress?
He has a fucking House. A House doesn't do shit if you don't have the Senate.
Yes and no.
Yes and no, my
but,
ass.
No. It's yes and no. He's not a Republican and he's not a Democrat.
But even so, Obama came in with a fucking full House. He had both sides, and he had both sides to the point where he could have beat the filibuster on everything, and yet still scrapped the fuck out of that bill that he brought to the House and gave some bullshit Republican doctored up fucking Democrat doctored up bullshit bill of a healthcare bill, which basically forced people on the healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oh wow, you don't think the healthcare system or healthcare companies had something to do with that bill?
Of course they did.
They wrote it.
They have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
But he could have got it voted without any Republicans at all, and yet he still did.
I don't think he could.
No, he did. He did it without
No, he did an executive.
No, for the Obamacare is what they call it. But
yeah,
Affordable Care Act. He had 60 votes. He had to get 61 votes actually, because back then you had to get 61 votes to beat the filibuster. Mm-hmm. But then they took the filibuster out.
Right.
And now you just need 51.
Right.
So
the
now
Democrats did that.
Yeah, they did that for some stupid... Oh, and then lost the House the next day. Which tells me, how do you not see they're on the same side? They just funnel your money into their friends' pockets to make sure that they stay richer than you. Because they all make, what, $100,000 a year?
We always need a yin.
They get free fucking health care.
We always
themselves.
need a right and a wrong. That's the way it is, man. We live in a society that makes us choose all the time. No, we always got to choose something.
No, we live in a society that's like that, but we don't have to. We choose to live in a society like that because the people have told us to live like that.
Right, we don't choose it. It was put upon us.
It was put upon us, and
we've been indoctrinated to believe certain things.
One of the reasons they don't teach meditation young, one of the reasons they don't give you healthy foods when you're young, is because it's harder to indoctrinate someone who's clear of mind than is someone who is just puddled up with sugar and fucking no thought.
Well, I wonder if that was designed or not. Because when I was a kid coming up, when they showed a healthy breakfast, like they showed a picture of a healthy breakfast, it'd be a couple of eggs, 3 or 4 slices of bacon, some grits. You know what I mean?
That's a healthy breakfast.
And that back then, that was considered a healthy breakfast.
And it is. Is it not?
Well, it's full of cholesterol.
Again, it's a healthy breakfast. If you eat 2 eggs and you don't use certain fats, like you don't use vegetable oil, canola oil, you use olive oil or butter to cook your eggs.
People were...
No, there's studies, that's the point. These studies, there's tons of studies that came out back then that they just ignored, that showed that eggs don't hurt you. Eggs are actually, and it really is a person.
Well, back then they said eggs don't hurt you. That's why you could have 2 or 3.
Right, because they don't. Because then 10 years later, they came out with some bullshit that it did, just so that...
But it wasn't the eggs.
What?
It was what they were cooking it in. It was the lard that they were using back then.
Which is another misnomer, because they thought that animal fat was causing heart disease. And the reality is it was sugar, not animal fats. It's the vegetable fats that you use in the place. Animal fat actually doesn't break down at such a high temperature. I listened to this dude... I've been listening to these dudes talk about health for the last 3 days, and it's like this whole thing where they basically, the sugar companies and the grain companies basically came in and fucked over, because there's no fat companies. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean there's no fat companies?
If I can't sell the lard, I'll just use it for something else.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, they replaced lard with something else.
Yeah, they replaced it with corn oil and Crisco, which was completely bad for you. They changed it to trans fats, which is a way to make fat more... It's basically like turning it into crack. They took Coke, a normal product that people liked, and they said, let's see if we can get more out of it. We already are cutting it. Because you know they cut Coke. That's just common practice. They cut it. Right. So we've already been cutting it. We ain't cut enough. Let's see if we can really cut it and make it into the point where we're getting... And that's what they did with these fats, is they
But you know what the difference is?
What?
There's a genetic difference in people. Mm-hmm. Black people, it was bad for. Lard was bad for us.
I don't know. I think it...
it leads to diabetes. It leads to...
No, I think that's the sugar.
It leads to...
That's the thing. All those studies back then that made fat evil, that's why everything became fat-free and all that stuff, were all wrong. They literally ignored the facts that the studies that showed sugar were causing these problems.
Oh, right. Well, we know sugar is bad.
I understand that.
Especially processed sugar.
That's how the world got to this point. Yes, you shouldn't eat 15 eggs for breakfast, and you shouldn't eat a fucking whole package of bacon.
Right.
But you can have 2 eggs, 2 bacons, and a little bit of potato.
Without a doubt.
Fried in olive oil.
Or
the bacon.
Fried olive oil.
Or the bacon grease.
Bacon grease, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just do it up in that. That's not a bad breakfast. But you also have to fucking exercise, because if you don't exercise, all that food you eat goes to shit anyway.
See, in poor houses, in black houses back then, they always had that can of
grease. Yeah,
on the stove.
It'd be by the sink.
Yeah, whatever.
It was always a fucking it was a coffee can.
Yeah.
Coffee can.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be full of bacon grease or whatever grease.
Yep. Chicken grease. Well, because you use lard. Because that's another thing. They found because do you remember that McDonald's? Do you remember the old McDonald's fries?
No.
Okay. You never ate much McDonald's. Okay. Listen to this guy, Malcolm Gladwell. He's got a great podcast called Revisionist History, and it just kind of looks at things in the past and shows you a perspective that you didn't see about it, which is what I'm talking about, the trans fat thing.
Right.
Basically, what happened was these false studies got released, and all the fast food companies then cut out all their fucking animal products and started replacing it with plant products, which is why the McDonald's fries are bigger. Used to be you get a fry from McDonald's and it was in a small fry pack, and that's what you would get. They didn't have extra. They didn't need them.
Okay.
You could eat one little thing. One of the reasons is because the animal fat, actually binds and doesn't break down, so it combines with the fucking and it makes you fuller. Where these other new fries
don't do that.
So that's when they started adding the large, the super size, and all that shit, so they could keep up with people's sensation.
McDonald's is the worst for me.
Well, McDonald's wouldn't have changed their shit. Wouldn't have changed their shit if it wasn't for that guy, because that was one of their staples was their fries. I guarantee you, after they changed their recipe, they lost probably about 25% of their whatever it was at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, because there was probably a ton of people who were like, yeah, these aren't the same, I don't want them no more, and then the rest of it's kind of bland.
But they got people brainwashed too.
No, that's why I say like 20 and 25%.
Because the reason why I say that is because you remember back about a month or two ago, they had this thing about a chicken sandwich.
Oh, it's a Popeye chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like really good.
About a week ago, I went and got one.
Did you get one?
I ate half of it and threw the other half away.
It's just chicken sandwich, isn't it? Was it spicy?
They had spicy and they had regular.
You got regular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I think one of the reasons why people go crazy for it is because of the spicy. Because everywhere has a regular chicken sandwich. Only what's it called? Wendy's has that spicy chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not even that spicy, but compared to Popeyes.
Yeah, well, Popeyes they
got that Louisiana spice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They kind of that's their trademark.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're a fan of that spice, I could see why that chicken would be your favorite.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Well, then that makes sense.
Because like I had that sandwich, I started eating it. It was, don't get me wrong, it wasn't nasty or nothing like that.
How was the breast?
After
was it huge?
It was decent size. After I chewed a couple of bites, it just didn't have anything else after that.
Do you remember what chicken breast used to look like when you were young?
Yeah, it looked like a chicken breast.
No, I know, but size-wise.
They were huge.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have swore that chicken breasts have gotten bigger over the years.
No, they were huge, man. Big chicken breast, big drumsticks. Well, see, back then, I remember going with my mom and my dad on a Saturday going shopping. And when I was young, I remember them going to a place where there were live chickens. And you pick out a chicken, and they take it in the back. When they bring it back, it's been plugged and head cut off. That's how they were. Your chicken was fresh. It wasn't sitting in no freezer. It wasn't on no truck for a day.
There's a place on if you take the long way downtown, which to me is Conant.
Mm-hmm.
You take Conant to Mount Elliott and take that down.
Mm-hmm.
Right by the prison there,
mm-hmm.
There's a fucking like an old like party store looking place, like an old store that says that on there. It's like live chicken.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I know what you're talking about.
Dude, I wonder if you could make a market of that.
What do you mean?
Like,
you wonder if you could do what?
Like, make a living off of just selling live chicken.
Sure you could.
No, I meant like, go find like 3 lots in Detroit. Set up your chicken farm.
And raise your chicken.
Raise your chickens. Go to the fucking farmer's market. Don't even go to the farmer's market for the chickens, but for the eggs, take them to the farmer's market, sell eggs at the farmer's market, and hold chickens when people want them. Have them pick them out.
Sure. You can do it.
And
you can do it on the east side of Detroit. There are lots over there where people are doing similar things. They're growing different kinds of foods. Side? Yeah. In fact, yesterday...
That's something I really want to do.
Yesterday, I took... Shane all the way downtown, all the way.
Okay, I don't know where Shane is.
Well, Shane starts at the Ford Freeway.
Ford is 94, right?
Yeah, it starts right there at 94 and what street would that be? Van Dyke, just before Van Dyke.
Okay.
And you can take Shane all the way. You do a little something like this. Boom.
So if you go, like, because that 94 is right there at Mount Elliott.
Yep.
Right, 94 is where the fucking the factory is.
In fact, you get off at Mount Elliott if you took 94.
Oh, and then take that.
And the first light right there, that's Shane.
That's Shane?
That's Shane. That first, when you get off, the first light you come to, you make a right turn, that's Shane. That's where it starts. It doesn't go very far. It goes down to the river. You know, so it doesn't go that far.
Yeah.
But I'm driving along, all of a sudden I see all these plastic domes, Quonset domes, and they're growing shit left and right, man.
Yeah,
It was a lot of them.
I thought about that. That's an actually...
It was a lot of, it had to be about between 12 and 16 of them. You know, they're half a block long. They're growing a lot of stuff, man. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of space to do it.
It is. See, actually, if I had money, what I'd be doing right now, I'd be buying up lots. I'd buy 12, 13, 14 lots.
Yeah.
And I'd try to get them right next to each other whenever I could. If I had to do, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be buying them suckers up left and right.
Yeah, if you had the money, but you gotta remember, you gotta pay the fucking taxes on them. That's the problem.
The taxes on a lot ain't that much. You don't have a house on it. I'm talking about vacant lots.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot years ago, and I think my taxes were $312 a year, something like that.
Well, you got
That's not a lot.
10 of them, that's $3,000.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But you got 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do anything you want.
That you gotta mow.
You could do anything you want to. Oh, you go buy a rider. Yeah, you can go buy a rider. They don't cost shit no more. You can get them things cheap.
Well,
And you're gonna need it as your tractor to do your farming anyway. So you're gonna need that anyhow.
true. Well, maybe.
No, you're gonna need it. I mean, if you want to have a productive farm, you're gonna need some mechanized type machines here and there. Unless you're gonna have 15 or 20 people working all the time.
Wow.
And what you could do,
I mean,
everything done by hand.
I think that would be the goal. Find like-minded people who are looking to find, you know what I'm saying, looking to do like-minded shit.
Yeah, but then you got to deal with 13 different personalities and all the shit that comes with. You know,
I know. There's a lot to it. It's
it is
not
a
as
lot to it.
simple
It's
as
more
it
than just.
sounds.
It never is. It
I know.
never ever is.
Nothing's as simple as it sounds. I'm not stupid. I understand that healthcare for all is like, it sounds infeasible, but there's other countries that do it.
It's feasible.
Yeah, and you can, like, I don't give a shit. I don't care if you like your healthcare. How come you get healthcare and I don't?
See, that shows you how the Americans are complacent. Now, all those senators and congressmen have health care.
Oh, amazing healthcare.
Wait a minute. We gave it to them.
Amazing healthcare.
Why are Americans so stupid?
I don't know.
Because I would tell them, tomorrow your health care ends.
Yeah.
Until everybody has it.
Yep. Until you figure out how to rein these companies in so they're not charging $100.
They're all
for a
walking
fucking
around with
insulin pen.
health care.
Yeah. They walk
Like you
around
said,
with
good
really,
healthcare.
really good healthcare.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Making six figures.
But they don't, yeah. They can afford it.
I'm paying my representative to represent me. 6 figures. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And they're making more than that. That's what you're paying them.
I know, and then all the dark money.
And then as soon as they get out of office,
They
open a
somewhere,
consulting company.
or they go somewhere that they wrote the laws that help.
It's like that
benefit.
Rudy Giuliani dude. He made more money off of tragedies than anybody else. Because that 9/11 stuff, he opened up a security company and made tons of money off of 9/11.
I mean, the dude married his cousin or some shit, didn't
Sure did. I think he's been married 2 or 3 times, hasn't
he? Yeah, they all have. These bastions of fucking...
he? I know.
like, it's...
just so
I
moralistic.
love Bill Maher's points about how, why the fuck can't we be human on one side and the other side's allowed to be fucking demons without even talking about it. But we have to be perfect fucking humans on the one side. And it's like, fuck you. We're all human. We all make mistakes. It's just some of us admit it. Dude, how do you can't have a free world leader that doesn't admit problems during an outbreak. This is gonna fucking end badly. Like, real bad.
One of our biggest problems, and the cause of a lot of problems, is what I call religious ignorance. People let religion kind of take them away from reality to a certain degree.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the good book teaches all these things, ways you should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all these people go to church, but they're all human. They're gonna do some fucked up shit. They have priests that do fucked up shit. Am I right?
I mean, yeah.
So I mean,
isn't that part of being Catholic?
that's part of being.
You can do fucked up shit and get forgiven.
That's a part of being. Yeah, and most religions are like that.
Yeah.
Well, it has a clause in it. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. There's always a punishment if you don't act right.
Well,
a punishment.
Maybe he should be punished, I guess. I don't fucking know. That's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Because it's a simulation. I'm telling you, it's a simulation. That's why it doesn't make any fucking sense. There's something, or somebody, or
it's
they.
a bad simulation. I mean,
or
it's a good simulation. They did a good job with the walls.
Well, they.
I mean, the cup's very well done. As I turn it, it turns like I feel like a cup should.
Did you need a cup?
I have one, yeah.
But in life, did we need cups?
Yes.
And
That's what I'm saying. They did a good job.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
Giving me a device.
That's the point I'm making.
But what if in reality cups just kind of hover?
What do you mean hover?
I don't know.
Of course you don't. I don't either. That's the part.
They just hover. They just like, instead of sitting normally sit here.
But wait a minute.
You fill them up and they go whoop and just kind of sit there like that.
Well, somewhere it probably does that.
Universe.
Or in the future it probably will do that.
Mm. That's true. There will be cups that you'll just.
You could call it
a trick.
You could just mentally call it and it come floating in the room.
Oh, God damn it!
It's sitting right down in front of you and you take a sip off of it. It's a simulation. I think it's got something to do with the moon.
With the what?
The moon.
Oh yeah, you've said that.
Yeah. There's something on the moon. I don't tell you why. Look, they've got a Russian satellite back in the late 50s, early 60s. Went to the far side of the moon and took some photographs.
Right.
And in one photograph, there's a fucking tower. They say it's 5 miles high. And there's another thing called a shard that's supposed to be a mile high. It's supposed to be made out of little squares. Okay, they know that stuff is there, but nobody's going to look at it. I mean, the first thing I would do is send something over there to take a closer look. Why aren't they doing that?
I mean, why haven't they released
Because
it?
they've already took a closer look.
Yeah, why haven't they released
And they already,
it, you mean?
exactly. They already know there's something on the moon, on the far side. They already know it. But they're afraid that everybody's going to panic.
Maybe the moon is our prison.
Or maybe Earth is a prison and the moon is the warden.
No, so, alright, so there was a South Park where these aliens showed up, right, in South Park.
I like how you always go to South Park. Okay, go ahead.
It's a great analogy on it.
No, I love
It's
South
fucking
Park.
hilarious. I'll let this, wow, I fucked that up.
Okay, so go ahead.
So, aliens show up, and he's this real badass alien that's a wanted criminal, and he's stolen $1 billion space bucks.
Okay.
Right? And he wants to hide out on your planet, and if you guys don't say anything, you know, blah, blah, or he was trying to hold up, like, whatever. He comes
He's
down.
going to cut you out a little, something.
Yeah, so he goes and hides, and then the space police come down. And they're like, have you seen this guy? And they're like, no, haven't seen him. So that all goes well, and are you sure? Are you like questioning them? Like,
Yeah,
like,
right.
what is wrong? Like, what's the? And they go off and do their thing.
Space police.
Yep, leave.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and then they shoot him. They shoot him with his own gun and take his. They're like. He
robbed him.
They robbed him. Yeah.
Did he kill him?
This isn't just the South Park people. This is all the world leaders are dealing through Stan Marsh.
Oh.
So all of the world leaders at this time are talking through Stan Marsh, negotiating with this guy, and they just eventually kill him and take the money. Right? So they spread it out equally
amongst themselves.
Amongst the countries.
Right.
Right? And the space police come back and like, are you sure he didn't come down here? Are you sure? Because Venezuela or Peru, a very poor country, now has
got dough, huh?
Yeah, they're just like building like skyscrapers and like,
yeah.
They're a fucking first world country, and he's like space bucks aren't real, right? Or not real, but they don't like, so on and so forth. So eventually you find out that it was all a ruse from the Space Federation to see if humans were ready to come out into the world.
It's a Space Federation.
And they weren't. They deemed them not able to because the guy that was the criminal was actually an undercover agent pretending to be a criminal to see what they would do. And he like, you guys are morons.
Wrong reaction.
You basically just spent money that wasn't real.
And kill somebody.
Kill somebody over something that, you know what I'm saying, and put value on something
that has no value.
Has no value. It was just
That's
basically
crazy.
Fucking garbage.
South Park. They something else, man.
Yeah, so they shut them. They're like, you guys are not allowed out, and they put a fucking force field around
Earth,
so we can't get out of the. We can't come to the Space Federation.
Right.
They're like, you guys are too stupid. I wonder if the moon is that. It's setting up a false, like letting us see what it wants to see, but every time a fucking satellite leaves it, they get a hold of it and they change the fucking wiring so you can't see the actual space traffic going around us. Because, I mean, it's infinite, so space traffic would be, I don't know, it'd be like being in Alaska. If you're in fucking Alaska.
Well, I think they're always out there. But we can't always see them because I think they travel so fast that the human eye... No, seriously.
Yeah.
I think they travel so fast that the human eye can't see them. You can only see them when they slow down.
I don't think travel, if you want to travel the universe, the travel we think of in the human body is not physical.
No, it's not. No.
It has to be ultra carbon type.
It's got to be something.
Where it's...
Either they figured out...
It's electronic. It's literally the electronic wave from your brain going to another place.
Okay. It could be that. Or they could figure out a way to... travel
contact type shit. That's what that is.
Yeah, or they might have figured out a way to travel through dimensions, and they have some kind of device in the ship where they can make right angle turns at high speeds, and you're not.
Those are probably just probes.
No, they're not all just probes. People have had encounters with aliens before, so all of them are probes.
I just can't imagine a species that's that much more advanced than us.
Well, if they're
actually having a reason to come and talk to us, besides looking at us like
I think they're just journeying through dimensions of space, and they see something. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So they might not ever come back.
So they think of us like.
And then some of them might go. I think the ones on the moon are going back and forth. And some of them, they just go through space. They stop. They see something. They're gone. Maybe we're too antique for them. You understand what I'm saying? Our stuff is too...
Or maybe we're just...
elementary.
Maybe we're aliens that got caught up. So, maybe we're rebel aliens that were racing real fast. Faster than we're supposed to. And we ended up... Because say the way you travel is through your essence.
Okay.
Your essence travels. Just your conscience.
No body.
It just travels. And you're like, I'm going to do this jump over here and go fast, and you accidentally jump and end up in Earth, and because you're supposed to go around it so you don't get trapped in the primate bodies that capture that electronic signal, whatever the fuck it is,
coming through.
But you were going too fast and didn't see it, so you ended up in the fucking thing, and then now you're
here.
Yeah, or you choose to. Because maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just like you're driving by, you're like, fuck it, I'll hang out there for a minute.
Or maybe you're just so lucky.
Maybe some places you can hang out.
It's
get
a lot
out
of
when you
them.
want.
It's a lot of them going all over all the time. And every now and then one gets lucky.
Did you?
If you want to call it luck.
Yeah. We'll end it there.